Hiya, this is Kat for Tech Digest and Shiny Shiny, and making his video debut today, probably, we're not too sure, is Gary from UK Resistance fame. You've probably read his angry gaming rants on the internet. Here he is in real life. He does exist. Now we've got 5 of the hottest video games consoles in front of us. Obviously 2 of the portables, the Nintendo DS Lite and the PSP. So which do you prefer out of these 2? Bit of an odd question.
The shame of it, I'll have to say the PSP at the moment.
Really?
The novelty initially wore off, but I'm actually playing it quite a bit now, mainly because I lost my DS. So I lost my Animal Crossing save position, so I now have no reason to play games.
Animal Crossing was one of the better games on DS, I must admit.
It's fantastic. I'd like to start it again, but it'll just hurt too much. So yeah, and I'm playing PSP. I like it.
Yeah. I must admit, I had a PSP when it first came out about, I think it was 2 years ago, and I did sell it after about 6 months. I was quite bored with the games, but there's new games out now like Loco Roco and Me and My Katamari. They're 2 of my favourite games on the PSP. And they're about 30 quid, right, each game, I believe?
They're not bad,
about £30, yeah, it's not too bad. And there's some very nice games coming out in the future, particularly Napoleon Dynamite, if you're keen on cult films like that. And that's another thing, you can also get films on the UMD discs and watch them on the PSP. So.
Yeah, but nobody really does that because UMD is rubbish. It's really slow, really expensive, not particularly good.
And that's what downloading's for, really.
Well, that's the best thing about PSP. You can just steal films off the internet, put them on your PSP, and watch them for free. It's fantastic, and it's just.
Obviously, we're not condoning illegal activities.
I personally am. It's fantastic. And it's just, I spend most of my time with my PSP playing with it, installing things, copying things across, deleting things, resizing things in different formats. It's just a fantastic toy. So yeah, actually I don't really play it. I just tinker. It's great for tinkering.
And they're £130, so not too bad. I mean, the DS is about £99, so just a little bit cheaper. And I mean, it is aimed at a younger generation of gamers, probably, particularly with the touch screen. So with the stylus, you can games like Cooking Mama and WarioWare. No, it's just perfect, I think.
Well,
I really like the DS.
It's perfect, but the novelty of these mini games kind of wears off after about 2 or 3 minutes for me. I mean, I play games like Cooking Mama, and I turn it on. I think, I'm having great fun, and then I'm doing the same thing, and I'm doing the same thing slightly differently, and they're just collections of mini games that I get tired of them quite quickly.
And speaking of novelty, you can tell which console I'm going to pick up next. Yes, the Wii. It came out last November or December, I believe. It's without a doubt the most popular game console at the moment. Sells huge amounts still. It's quite, highly sought after. You can barely get it on the high street these days. Almost 10 months after its release. But I don't know. What do you think about it?
I don't like it at all. I don't understand. I'm used to playing games where you press a button and a thing happens, and they're predictable, and you know what you're doing. How am I supposed to play a Wii game? Do I do this? Do I have to go like this? Is that enough? Or I just.
Hey, it builds muscle definition.
Well,
yeah, it is a bit of a novelty though, I must admit. I mean, games like Wii Sports and Wii Play, they're brilliant if you've got a couple of friends around, but for proper gamers who just want to sit there and play a couple of good solid hours of games, there's nothing that brilliant on there, is it?
Well, no, all you hear from hardcore gamers is people moaning that there's nothing they want to play.
Yeah.
I mean, they've had Zelda and they're supposed to be happy with that, and the only other games
Red
are
Steel,
just
I think, yeah.
little novelty things, and I really don't understand at all why people are.
Having said that, Mercury Meltdown Revolution is brilliant on the Wii. I really liked it on the PSP, the Mercury game, but on the Wii, Brilliant. And coming soon, of course, is Mario Galaxy and Mario Kart, probably either late this year or next year, and I think they're going to be two really hot games. And also, I don't know how you're going to, what you're going to think about this, but the Mario versus Sonic at the Olympics game, out just before Christmas.
Well, yeah, I mean...
Mario and Sonic team up for the first time.
I'm a bit worried that they're going to be disrespecting Sonic by pretending that that Mario is somehow able to beat him at any sort of sporting activity, which is clearly not the case.
I actually had a go at the game on Monday, and I was quite impressed. We did the sprint, the hop, step and jump, and I think it was the hammer throw, and it was alright. And you'll be very pleased to know this, Peach is wearing a hot little pair of pink hot pants. Looking good. Anyway, moving on. The PS3, without a doubt your favourite console ever.
Do I have to risk picking it up?
Don't worry, you'll have to quarantine yourself.
Just like it over here.
Don't strain too much.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think when you're buying PS, I mean, it's nice. It's heavy. It's solid.
It looks good.
It's quite shiny. You can put
it's nice and
handprints on it, and it's quite good.
It's a good mirror.
I'm not sure why people would be buying one now, because it's a lot of money and there's not really any
It has
games
gone down though, hasn't it? It's about £400 now. When it came out, it was 430, I believe.
I think because it's a lot of retailers are discounting it and throwing in games. You can get some good bundles, but that's because I don't see why people would be buying one now. I think when you're buying a PS3, you're buying it for some sort of future potential and the hope that in a couple of years' time it'll have loads of great games and you'll be pleased to have it. At the moment, I'm not sure why people are bothering.
Yeah, games are 40 quid too. You know, I mean, it's competitive, I guess, with Wii and Xbox 360, but I think for the quality of the games, it's not very good. I mean, you've got what? Resistance, Fall of Man.
Well, yeah, which some people seem to like, but they look amazingly boring and quite generic.
Although Grand Theft Auto 4 is coming out shortly for it.
Yep,
so
that'll help.
That will help sales, no doubt.
Yeah, I'm not sure I mean, even with the price cut to £400, that's a lot of money for a games machine. And it just hasn't got the exclusive games at the moment. So I think, you know, you're buying a PS3 hoping that in 2008 it's going to have loads of great games.
It's an investment.
Yes.
And the final console is probably our favourite, I'd say, the Xbox 360. It is a bit of a beast. It's quite large, a bit of a whale, but yeah, it's just a solid console, isn't it? I mean, I've never had... I know people have problems with the consoles, they break down fairly easily, but I've never had a problem with mine.
No, mine hasn't broken, which is annoying because I actually want it to break because it would be a good source of material for the internet. But no, mine hasn't broken, and it entertains me. It doesn't. I'm never blown away or amazed by it, but there's enough games. It's got a good back catalogue. Yeah.
It's got a 20 gig hard drive, the premium one. It's I think it's £280 now. I mean, I wouldn't suggest buying the core console. You know, if you're going to get 360, get premium, definitely. But the exciting thing is that the Elite is coming out, I think, in a couple of months, maybe?
I think it's the end of August.
End of August, right. And that's going to have a 120 gig hard drive, and it's coming in black, so it'll match your PS3 well. And of course, the games on it, there's Guitar Hero 2, Virtua Tennis 3, I know you're a fan of that.
Virtua Tennis is amazing, yep, it's really good.
Yep, and of course Halo 3 is one of the most highly anticipated games of this year. I think it's coming out this year.
It's coming out in September, for men who like that kind of thing.
Fanboys are going wild across the internet for Halo 3. Yeah. So yeah, these are the 5 top video game consoles and portables. Obviously, Gary would have loved to have included the Sega Dreamcast had he had a choice.
So they're too valuable to transport. I couldn't bring it into the studio.
You can't risk taking it onto the tube.